why Epstein is a huge deal and they need to not sweep this under the rug. Here's what influencers have to say about it.
Are you still talking about Jeffrey Epstein? And are people still talking about this guy, this creep?
Well, you got your bucket list, your grocery list,
Have you ever been convicted
you got a
of a
list
crime?
of all your wishes. That's a wish
Yes.
list, dude. You got your Amazon and Santa Claus and prostitution. But I know a list that don't exist.
Is it true,
but
sir,
so
that,
do you. It's the Epstein list. It's a mystery
you have
list
what's been
with
described
the
as an
president
egg-shaped
of a list that we all
peanut?
dismiss. Be an optimist, not a
Described
pessimist.
your
If you wish to
oval
persist, you
shape
probably ought to forget that
and claim when
list.
erect
What
it
were
was
we
thick
talking
towards the
about?
bottom,
I
but was
don't
thin and
remember.
small towards the head
But I'm
portion,
sleep a lot better
and
at
called
night.
it egg-shaped.
Yeah,
Those are not my
life
words, I
just go
apologize.
along.
Mr.
Going
Epstein,
this 10,000
how
hours
long
of
have you
sunshine and
been
flowers and
sexually
nobody
attracted to
doing a damn
underage
thing
minor
wrong.
females?
Here no
Are
see
you
no
kidding?
damn
Now I
bum
feel like
G,
I'm
no
divulging
cash,
any
but well
secrets
I
here, right?
wouldn't
On
wanna
one
be a
of
sweaty
defendant
man
Epstein's
with bulging
birthdays,
eyes.
a
Now
friend
tell me
of
them fellas
defendant
ain't
Epstein
compromised.
sent him 3 12-year-old girls from France
Why is he
who spoke
smiling?
no English for defendant to sexually exploit and abuse. After doing so, they were sent back to France the next day. Isn't that true?
I would like to answer that question. I really would. However, today, my attorneys have told me I have to assert my Fifth Amendment.
You're invoking your Fifth Amendment rights to each of these questions because you know that your answers will incriminate you and you feel that it will result in you being prosecuted for these crimes. Isn't that right?
I can't believe this guy killed himself for being too innocent.
Virginia Roberts. Do you know Virginia Roberts?
So she's, again, who?
Bill Clinton.
Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein.
Any comments on the alleged allegation of your connection with Jeffrey Epstein?
Nice guy. Got a lot of problems coming up, in my opinion, with the famous island with Jeffrey Epstein.
So wait, do you think Epstein and Clinton were friends or something?
I don't. This artist made it. I don't know.
That's
I
fucked
only
up,
flew
dude.
with him 26 times.
Yo,
it was only 26 times. He was a good man. They're mischaracterizing him.
Turns out
He had
Clinton-
a love of science.
Island was really a cesspool. There's no question about it. Just ask Prince Andrew.
Described dancing with you, and you profusely sweating, bath possibly.
There's a slight problem with the sweating because I have a peculiar medical condition, which is that I don't sweat, or I didn't sweat at the time, and that was actually yes.
You have the names. Like, he literally just gave 2 names. In my opinion, that's so bad. I mean, did you make this shit up? Or are you protecting them? What the fuck, though, right? I mean, if Bill Clinton, like, Donald Trump called them out by name, Bill Clinton and Prince Andrew, he needs to come out and say, why the fuck were you saying their name if you can't pin anything on them? That's ridiculous.
Previously on Dragon Ball Z, the FBI and DOJ had concluded their investigation and determined that there was no Epstein client list, there was no blackmail, and Epstein did indeed take his own life.
Regardless of who may be embarrassed in the release of that list, why is the FBI protecting the greatest in human history?
Simple, because of who's on that list.
I'm running out of words to express my disbelief in how the Jeffrey Epstein case is being handled by the government. Like, I'm having to make up words to try and encapsulate my feelings. We're all being mahoujanized here by, like, these elites in power that are so desperate to bury the Epstein conversation.
Who killed Jeffrey Epstein?
This doesn't look right. It doesn't look like a suicide.
You know, Epstein's an intelligence asset for people in the Middle East, right? I'm like, no, I didn't know that. I'm like, you sure of that? The person, let's say, is like, I'm absolutely sure of that. His plane and that island, the cameras, there's a big assumption out there that these videotapes were exclusively in the custody of Epstein. That's a huge mistake. The reason they wanted this story to go away is because there's an assumption like, oh yeah, Epstein had him. No, he wasn't the only one who had him, according to this source.
Now, that is what I said, to be fair. That's the only way I can make everything make sense based off of what's publicly available.
This runs counter to everything the government has said for years in the previous administration and in the current administration.
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
There's a lot of these,
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
Wow.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you know, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world.
AKA the dude who, like, conglomerates people to kids on an island, committed suicide, and there was this whole thing people were talking about, the Epstein list, the Epstein list, the Epstein list, and now apparently the Epstein list never existed, and I don't know about that, dude. I don't know about that. It sounds to me like there were some people who were on that list that wanted to make sure that shit never made it to live.
I don't even know how to say his name. I have no idea what any of this is about. All I know is there's no big deal. Like fucking goofball Stephen A. Smith recently had this to say about it.
It's really, really surprising that this matters. Of course, I think there's a list, but I don't know. I suspect, but I have no knowledge, nor do I care. It's Friday night. I'm getting ready to go out and enjoy myself. I'm getting ready to have a nice weekend. I could give a damn about the Epstein client list. This has no effect on me whatsoever. I have a life. I don't understand for the life of me why this matters so much to these. I'm talking about people losing it. They're crying on camera. They're talking about resignations. They're pissed off about everything. I'm like, really?
That's a fascinating perspective there, Stephen. I see you put on your stupid cap for this. That's very interesting. So it's no big deal to you that children were being raped by Epstein and all of his associates, many of those associates being very powerful political figures? That you don't understand why that would be like a big deal? Or something that people care about?
Well, 10 seconds ago, there was unanimous agreement that Epstein was a pedophile sex trafficker with high-profile clientele who all must be exposed and brought to justice. Now, out of the blue, we're being told that none of that's true, and anyone who believes this thing is a whack job and a conspiracy theorist. This is the kind of shameless 180-degree unexplained pivot that leftists typically specialize in. Very weird to see it happening on the right. Elon is even saying it's very easy to say who's a paid influencer.
Honestly, I'm done talking about Epstein for the time being. I'm going to trust my friends in the administration to do what needs to be done. Ball's in their hands.
I don't know why he's not pushing back on this more. And I think that there's a lot of people that aren't doing that. How? And, personally contacted prominent conservative influencers, urging them to tone down their criticism of the administration's handling of the Epstein case. Let me check. Did he DM me? No. No, there's no DM. He didn't DM me. What if he did, bro? No, it's not on there. I checked. And ask your editor. Maybe he emailed my editors. That's what it was. Yeah.
Wait, what? The editor wrote out, pivot. They're gonna kill us.
Well, that seems so crazy to think there's not a list.
That's what Jimmy said. He's a tinfoil hat guy.
There's a lady in jail for sex trafficking.
And Jimmy would acknowledge
to no one. Like, there's no one who's been arrested that she sex trafficked to.
I want to talk to you about the Epstein case. I have worked on this for years, trying to get those records of who flew on Epstein's plane and who helped him build this international human trafficking ring.
Absolutely, Senator. Child trafficking has no place in the United States of America, and I will do everything, if confirmed as FBI director, to make sure the American public knows the full weight of what happened in the past.
Did Jeffrey Epstein himself, or did somebody kill him?
No. Senator, I believe he himself in a cell in the Metropolitan Detention Center.
Are you going to release all the information about that?
Senator, we are working through that right now with the Department of Justice.
You said...
That's not a yes or no, by the way.
I'll tell you what, Kurt Metzger called this from the beginning, and especially when he found out that Comey's daughter was going to be the judge. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah. Wasn't she the same judge on the Ghislaine Maxwell case? Yeah.
Oh, yes, I did hear this.
Yeah. Bro, where's the videos? They were telling us that videos are going to come out, incredibly high-profile people doing horrendous things, evil things. People are going to go to jail. People are going to be shocked.
Yeah.
Where?
Right.
Nothing.
The Epstein files, which were on Pam Bondi's desk and ready to be released, which were so lurid and so evil that we could barely even tolerate them. We were told that many, many times. And then they were promised they were going to be all released, get ready, truckloads of evidence, and then they didn't exist. And then they were written by Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton and Joe Biden. And those have been the stories.
Huh, that's so odd. That's so weird how that just fucking flip-flopped. That's really weird. This desperation from the people in power to bury this conversation should be extraordinarily alarming to anyone that is using any amount of neurons in their noodle. Like, just think for a moment. Why are they trying to pretend that this is nothing? They're trying to, like, hypnotize or brainwash people into just writing this off as no big deal. They were talking about children being raped by so many people in power. In what universe is that not a huge issue that everyone should care about? You are paying taxes to and are being controlled by people that were raping children. And they are not facing justice, even though justice is what was promised by this administration and had been repeated so many times to the American public of how they were going to be pursuing justice come hell or high water. Everyone that Epstein ever associated with, everyone incriminated in these files, is going to face the piper. So put that in your pipe and smoke it, criminals. And now they're just saying, no, it's not real, it doesn't exist, there's no evidence of that, we're not doing anything. And not only are they not doing anything, they're actively lying to the public about all of it and now trying to convince the public that it's stupid to make a big deal out of it.
And what was a simple practice in transparency for the federal government to prove that we're not paying taxes to pederasts has suddenly smoldered into a radioactive toxic sludge of the current moment. And that current moment includes potentially members of the Trump administration quitting in defiance of the lack of transparency, like Dan Bongino here, and more importantly, a larger spiraling scandal. And I hate that it has gotten to the level of scandal, but that's what I believe, because there are so many people in the base that are upset. And listen, if you don't have a base, then where's your political power come from? I mean, the number one rule that you have to have is I'm not going to let you hurt me with my base, right?
Those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed say no. No. In the opinion of the chair, the noes have it. The amendment's not agreed
Chair,
to.
I'm kind of shocked by that.
The noes have it. The amendment is not agreed to. And I think most of us believe what's appropriate will be released when it is time for the president to release it.
Well, Madam,
Thank you.
Too many of my colleagues, I'm afraid, are compromised in this area for whatever reason. Somebody's whispered in their ear, said, hey, you don't want something to come out on something else, you better keep your mouth shut on this. And that's exactly what they've done. And it continues to go, whether it's the honeypot that the Russians used to use or something worse. I don't know, but it's clearly, you see that up and down the line. You see good conservatives vote for liberal policies.
So you're saying that right now, currently ongoing in our Congress, there are members of Congress who have been compromised by either special interests or the intelligence community to not give the American public information on Jeffrey Epstein?
I believe so. 100%. 100%. I want to tell you one quick thing. I know it's a little different, but I've been involved in the UFO UAP issue. And it's, like I said, I'm not going to bring out little green men in a flying saucer, but it's about transparency. I had an amendment on the FAA reauthorization bill that said if an American pilot sees a UAP, an anomaly or something, and they make a report to the FAA, that report has to be made available to Congress. I was told by the whip, I said, what happened to my amendment? And he said, it was killed by the intelligence community. And I said, you mean the intelligence committee? And he said, no, the intelligence community. It was not even brought up. And these are unelected bureaucrats that have that much control.
If you went to this guy's island, if I was the Department of Justice, I would subpoena and get every single person who ever was on the flight logs ever. I would get their last 20 years of communication on every single electronic device that I had access to. I get the entire thing. I'd go through fucking everything. If I couldn't convict them, I'd just make it public. Fuck them. According to Laura Trump, the Trump administration is planning to release additional files related to the Jeffrey Epstein case. Here's my viewpoint. If they are giving and ceding any ground at all, you can keep pushing and get more. Just keep pecking, keep pushing, and you'll get what you want.
Ask yourself why. Why? Just please, I'm begging you, do not let someone like Stephen A. Smith convince you that it's not something you should care about. You should. It's extremely important. And it is crazy that it continues to get even more insane with the handling of the entire Epstein conversation. They are so desperate to bury it. It's fucking scary.
Bro, this is a bit, as I said, bro, I said I was going to talk about this shit regularly because this is a big one. This is a really, really big one. And I view this as an inoculation. I understand that criticism, people don't want to see criticism of, you know, Donald Trump because they like Donald Trump and they agree with him about a lot of things. But sometimes it's important to have that criticism in order to prevent yourself from going off course in the future.
President, I know you've urged people to move on, but I'm curious, why do you think your supporters in particular have been so interested in the Epstein story and so upset about how it's
I have no idea. Why would they possibly...
I don't understand it. Why they would be so interested. He's dead for a long time. He was never a big factor in terms of life. I don't understand what the interest or what the fascination is. Why the Jeffrey Epstein case would be of interest to anybody. It's pretty boring stuff. It's sordid, but it's boring. And I don't understand why it keeps going. I think, well, really only pretty bad people, including fake news, want to keep something like that going. But credible information, let them give it. Anything that's credible, I would say, let them have it.
Okay, then put it out. If you think it's so boring, then put it out.
Trump said his administration would release the Epstein files, but now he says those files are a hoax. Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kira Phillips. Trump continuing to blame Democrats, claiming without providing evidence the party created these files to undermine him and that Republicans who believe it are getting duped. The president writing on social media today, their new scam is what we'll forever call the Jeffrey Epstein hoax, and my past supporters have bought into the BS, hook, line, and sinker. Trump adding, let these weaklings continue forward and do the Democrats' work. Don't even think about talking of our incredible and unprecedented success because I don't want their support anymore.
Yeah, when he said that, I mean, honestly, it was just destroying. I mean, what happened to fucking Benghazi and all these other things you said you were gonna do? I mean, you saw it with your own eyes. He fucking spread Epstein's legacy or the theory of it at least. Here's Alex Jones' take.
You know what, Trump? I'm glad the Democrats aren't in, and I like a lot of the success you're having, and we're all having together. And your statements about, you know, you people that bring this up don't even deserve to be involved in this movement. You are excommunicata. You are henceforth ex cathedra from the mouth of the God King. You are expelled from the Church of the Holy Golden Toad, Donald John Trump. Well, I was never in the Church of the Holy Golden Toad. I do like you being a maverick, standing up for the country. We have the same enemies. I respect your stamina and courage. Been a big cheerleader when I agree with what you're doing. But if I'm being excommunicated, let me be clear, I was never in your church to be excommunicated. So you can't excommunicate me because I was never in your church. I was never in a cult. I never said MAGA was a cult. I said a lot of people want it to be a cult. You know, there are Dallas Cowboy fans that are in a cult.
Yeah, I had to stop him on that. He was about to go into cults and whatnot, and I just, he has got a lot of good points, though. Yeah, people do feel he's doing a lot more than Biden or any other president for that we've had in quite a while. And as of today, I guess he is working on getting more shit out. I mean, he's telling people to release whatever they have because he knows he's getting backlash. And honestly, it's fucked up that he told us supporters of his to basically fuck off if we have an issue with it. That's nuts. So anyways, that's the video. I'm gonna start a new series on this and on other things. I mean, MrGameGov really inspired me to make my own shit basically, so yeah.